Good. Oh, was that already?
Oh, that was mine. I'm turning fucking vibrate off.
Christ on a bleeding bike. Good evening, everybody.
It wasn't his phone, it was a love egg.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a very somber episode of Ought to Know Better. We're not even sure if it's a main pod or whether it's just like a fill-in pod, but basically what happened was Smarty and Gilly didn't do their job at the weekend, and because we're obviously playing Palace tomorrow night, then the next podcast is going to be moved to Wednesday. So we thought we'd throw a little filler in the mix just to keep all those people that are interested in seeing Jay's horrible face interested. So, without further ado, good evening again, everybody, and welcome to this episode. We had a pretty good weekend. Some of us we went to see Apollo Junction, big supporters of the podcast, and I've been in the past. And Ben's obviously done the odd little bit here and there for us. It was my birthday. I turned the ripe age
40.
of 35. Still the youngest. I think I am actually the youngest. We know that I'm the most handsome, but
we know you don't look it. Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, we had a relatively good weekend. We watched the game before we went to the gig. There was Rod and a few other people from in and around LUFC Twitter. So it was good. Good, nice to see everybody and that. I wish I could probably say the same about the football on show. What do you think, boys?
Fuck me. That's all.
Well, no, thank you. I'd rather hear about what you thought about the football.
Not even for a gold pig, yeah.
Not even for a season ticket.
Maybe.
I've got one of them.
Have you stooped that low that you I offered you money for it and you wouldn't take that, but you'd let me do that to you for it?
Oh, my mind's all over, mate. I'm scrambled after watching them last two games. I don't know what's going on.
It's difficult, isn't it? It's a real difficult situation. We go from playing so well at Spurs first half. Prior to that, Leicester and Wolves as well at home. We've had some real good performances, and then we seem to get some some confidence back and a few first teamers back, and we go back to shit. What's all that about? Like,
it's
bizarre. What was your feeling? I mean, it was a shit. We were much happier with that point, weren't we, at Brighton at the weekend? But going into the game, we must have expected more than a point when we're seeing Rafinha and Rodrigo back in the side and everything else. What went wrong?
I think if you'd have told me, or if you'd have offered me a point before we went down there, I'd have taken that. You know what I mean? A point down there for us is good, given our track record down and stuff. However, we were fucking dire. Wow. And it was embarrassing. It was dire. It was the contrast between, granted, it were only a part of the game, but the first 60 minutes of Tottenham, the game against Leicester. I said last week on pod last week, I didn't quite go Rio Ferdinand saying we're back, but there were massive improvements. We looked sharper. We were passing the ball better. It looked like we were kind of like, getting back to our old selves. And then that display, Jesus wept. I nearly fucked it off at half time. I'll be honest. Terrible. It was terrible.
Did you think it was
that bad? I don't know. I've not seen many worse.
No. I've not seen many worse. I thought it was bad. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I thought it was a terrible performance, and the amount of chances Brighton had should have put us to bed by 4 or 5. And on another day, they might have done.
It's a good job they couldn't finish the dinner. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I just think, for me, it was almost like we'd sort of, we'd gone through a bad period of playing poorly towards the start of the season. We'd sort of started to come out the other end, and then we just dropped straight back into it like a black hole. Saturday, yesterday. It's now Monday, isn't it? So yeah, it was Saturday. I don't know. What do you think, Jay? What? I mean, not a lot went right. Let's be honest. But what went what was so different between that performance and, say, the first half away at Spurs or at home to Leicester the week before that?
I've got no idea. I'm baffled. I mean, when you turn around and say that Maupay were our best player, do you know what I mean? How many open goals did he miss? You know what I mean? There must have been 3 at least. And that just sums it up, doesn't it? It's just, it's like if there were a chart of our progress, it'd be going like this after those last few games, and then it's just Brighton. It's like just straight off a cliff.
A bit like your Bitcoin.
Pretty much, mate. Yeah, because that happened last week. All the crypto crashed because of this fucking COVID shite. Anyway, I don't like to talk too much about my crypto because that's on the down low, and I don't want HMRC after me. So I mean, I don't understand what's happened, and it's weird because it's not just the football shit. It's like there's some real baffling decisions from Bielsa as well. Like Somerville's just disappeared out of the squad; he's not there, and we've got 15-year-old Archie Gray nearly making the bench, but Somerville's nowhere near. Joffrey plays one game, then he's nowhere near. Next game, I don't understand it.
I sort of do understand that, and simply because Archie Gray doesn't play on the wing, and when we've had players, coming back into the side, we were struggling for central midfielders, weren't we? With I
know. If you're going to take what I said literally, then I get what you're saying.
But
it's more. There's players who have been involved suddenly aren't, and it's odd. And then he's playing Phillips in a weird position that he doesn't want to be in. And we miss the passing that he does, and all the best parts of him in his normal midfield role. We kind of lose when he's back in defence, and I think that costs us more than it gains us.
Yeah, and McKinstry seems to be flavour of the month at the minute, doesn't he? Over Somerville and various others. So just to keep anybody who's not watching aware, the under 23s are now beating City 23s 2-1. Sam Green was just going second of the game, but beating them 2-1 at City. Nice. So somebody else has just put that in the chat. I'm not sure who was looking after that. It's probably Gilly watching along because he didn't join.
Not me.
How are you?
He's getting a rep, is Gilly, for not turning up for his duties, isn't he?
It fucking looked through me under the bus and all. I was ready to go. I had my bags were packed. Like a coiled string I wore, and he threw me under the bus.
String?
Yeah, coiled string. So I'm being sarcastic, obviously.
I hope so.
So in terms of the weekend then Saturday, any positives at all that we could take out of that?
Fuck all. We got
Mesley had a fantastic game, and he's looking worth 10 times the value we paid for him. I mean, that is, for that to be my only positive, certainly to take out of that game, screams, speaks volumes because he was worked fucking hard at the weekend, and he was lucky that, like you say, Maupay or Mumpai or whatever he's called, and a couple of others were pretty shit in front of goal, because on another day we could have been embarrassed there.
I'll tell you what, that Lamptey turned fucking Verpo inside out. He couldn't get near him.
And then when we brought Stoic to play at left back against him, I thought, oh my fucking god, it's like David versus Goliath. Do you know what I mean? Like left back and right back. It was, but then Stoic moved into the centre, didn't he? Because he brought Phillips off at the same time. I thought Stoic was coming on at left back. You say, and I thought, oh my god, he's going to put Lamptey up against Stoic. So yeah, I mean, we just can't quite continue to perform like that. Otherwise, we are in a real battle. I don't want to say the word, but we are going to be in a real battle if we continue with those types of performances. Any other positives that you guys have got to take out of that? Then?
I've not got many positives, but I've got an absolute fucking bucket load of negatives. But I don't want to be. I don't want to be too negative. You try and be constructive, and you try and be as upbeat as you possibly can after the shit that we've been through over the last few years. And it's not something I've ever experienced under Bielsa, not for a prolonged period anyway. We've had drips and drabs, where we failed at the end of the first season. We've had this, as downturn in form during the second season and stuff. We got a few hidings last year, but this is completely different. And it's like that old friend, that dark cloud starting to come back over, and you're just like, hold on a fucking minute. There's too many questions, and I've never ever found myself questioning Bielsa who am I to question Bielsa, first of all? But, you just think, why is he playing so many players out of positions when we've got good cover for them?
Yeah, it's weird.
It's not just that, though.
Reason. There's always a reason to everything he does. It just isn't obvious to us, and it looks fucked up when we play like that. But that.
Yeah, but it's just too obvious. If an absolute fucking melon like me can think, why is he playing him there? Why the fuck are you playing Dan James up front? Why?
Yeah, that was strange.
It's just, I understand that he mucks about with defensive, bringing Firpo in was a bit of a shock to me, I'll be totally honest, but, there's some stuff just but it's not just that, it goes deeper than that. You've got your players out of position. The passing is dreadful. I don't know what's happened to our passing this season, but it's just nothing like, it's so short of what we're used to. The quality isn't there. There's no one sprinting as much as we've, like when you look past this season. I know I keep harking back at this season, but you look at last season, the amount of sprints we were doing, we were absolutely gunning for the ball. They were absolutely running like forward. When we're on the break and stuff like that, nothing like that. They're just jogging.
Yeah, it's not the same.
It's just there's no intensity there. What the fuck's going on?
I've got a bit of a theory on this. And do you remember when we had to change our style of play towards the end of last season because we had a real fucking tough running towards the end, and we had quite a lot of the big sides, and we almost played a much more defensive angle to football rather than our gung ho, and we got results out of it. Now I have a feeling that Bielsa saw that as productive and positive, and actually if we can go and match teams like that, playing like that, that's the way to do it in the Premier League. And he's almost tried to interpret that into the start of this season, playing against shitty teams, and that's inviting pressure onto us. Now, I could well be wrong, and there's probably statistics that prove that absolutely wrong, but that's how it feels to me. It feels like we're almost over-concentrating and overcompensating for our defensive element of the game. Look at the weekend against Brighton. We played 5 at the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough, we're away from home, but Calvin Phillips filling as a centre-back, he needs to be 10 yards further forward and then slot in when he needs to, not starting in there and then moving forward when he needs to.
Definitely.
It's really difficult, and that's my sort of theory on the whole situation, and whether Bielsa believes it was his game plan that needs to be changed, or whether it's his style that needed to change to suit the Premier League. And we know how set in his ways he is. So if he's played the last 7 or 8 games towards the end of last season like that, he's sort of maybe focused on that all pre-season, for all we know. And he's brought that into this season. What do you two think?
I mean, I think that this is the first time under Bielsa that we've been in a situation where we don't look at every game and feel like we can get a result. We're now looking at most games worrying we won't get anything. And it's a complete step change. It's flipped 180, That's
a good point, that. I was thinking that. I think I actually said that to one of my mates last week, that if we ever went 1-0 down, it's like, don't worry about it. We're still in this. We'll get this back, no problem. And it's like, shit, where are the goals coming from? You turn to Rodrigo. I think it was you who said, I didn't even realise he were playing until he made a defensive fucking clearance.
Yeah, it was me, I didn't even know he were on the pitch.
If Rafinha isn't absolutely 100% on it, he brings... And again, you might fucking hate me for saying this, but he does nothing. He wasn't in the game. He might not have been utilised. I get that, because we're not passing the ball right. We're not, I mean, I think Gilly's just put in the
I was just about to say
something about Forshaw. Yeah. Forshaw is a positive, but is Phillips having to drop back further because Forshaw's also in there? Are they working that well together? It seemed to do against Leicester.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I don't want to concentrate on negative stuff, because at the end of the day, we can have shit games. We used to have shit games when we were playing really well. It looked like we're playing fairly decently the last couple of games, and then we just had an absolute nightmare against Brighton. So it might just be an hiccup. It might be just one of them sort of fucking games. I hope it is, and I hope that we turn the screw and we give it some gas tomorrow against Palace. We need to
accept how we've conceded goals straight away a couple of times as well. I mean, the whole just switching off like that, I don't get that. And that must drive Bielsa insane.
Yeah, absolutely.
He won't like
that. One other thing worth noting as well that's come out over the past past day or so was nice to see. Was Marcelo Bielsa and Phillips sort of confirming that there's no problem, that it's all fucking paper talk and everything. You know, it's that's what it was. I mean, it was lovely to see. I think Calvin Phillips.
Were you in any doubt though, Luke?
No, I won't. But you get
it's a load of bullshit, isn't it? You get fucking absolute sad sack. Some right sad sacks on Twitter and stuff like that. Going, oh, it's because Phillips has had an argument and he thinks he's too good. Shut the fuck up, whine your neck in your bell ends.
You don't
I've never heard as much shite in my life. He's the most grounded kid you've ever meet in your life. He's Leeds through and through, and now he thinks he's Billy Big Bollocks at Leeds.
Yeah.
Shut up.
You don't go from the way them two were with each other at the end of that documentary to falling out and being on different pages. You know what I mean? They had a really good, close relationship, and I'm sure they still do. Yeah, I'm sure there's disagreements now and then, but that's normal, you know. I don't think that there's going to be any issues.
I think one Leeds fan put on a picture of them hugging and saying that he doesn't know much about the... Was it Carragher who said it, or Redknapp? Wasn't it Redknapp, I think?
Probably Redknapp if it's someone who doesn't know much.
Yeah.
Mind you, Carragher's not much better.
He put him on cuddling, and he's like, so-and-so knows fuck all about our club. And Calvin Phillips liked it. Anyway, one final thing I just want to say about the Brighton game and the positives, and people have fucking been all down my throat because of this, but I'm going to continue to bang that drum, is Tyler Roberts had a fucking, you know, it was the difference in the last 15, 20 minutes, and we actually looked a little bit more energetic. And whether he touched the ball 3 times and had 2 shots, one idiot commented, oh, it was great, that winning goal that he scored. He was on the fucking pitch 25 minutes and the other fucking 12 didn't fucking score while they're on the pitch. Just shut up your belly.
It was actually all right in that game, I'll grant you that. But I still don't see him as the answer.
He's not good enough. But what we need to be doing is focusing on the positives when he has a good game, rather than making him a scapegoat for fucking 25-minute performance. Do you know what I mean? As a fan base, we just seem to be so fucking disorientated and that in a minute. It's awful, and it's like it in the stands though, isn't it? Like you've got people disagreeing with each other in the stands, and you've got people, especially at away games and that. There's almost 2 sets of fans at most away games. It's fucking unreal. Them away
day crowds at minute are fucking shocking.
Yeah,
they're so quiet compared to what they're normally like and stuff like that. Fuck, you know.
You say about our fan base being all sort of disjointed and stuff. The amount of people I've seen on Twitter this week, if we lose the next game, the board needs to make a decision. What? To not let those fuckers in anymore, because that's the only decision that they need to make. I think Mick John's having a conversation
with himself in the comments here.
If you're advocating Bielsa out, then you need to get in the bin.
Anyway.
Yeah, I totally agree. Right, anyway, we're going to move on to a bit of a bit of a preview for tomorrow night at home to Palace, and I believe we've got an infamous Twitter account joining us in a second.
Troll.
Steve, are you there, Steve?
I mean, how dare you slander me in that way?
He's a troll. He's just trying to wind us up.
Absolutely. You and Luke are on similar levels of notoriety.
Pardon?
How many nosebleeds have you got since you left London?
Mate, I've put at least a dozen Leeds fans down on the floor tonight, and they're in a bad way.
It's because they fell over laughing when they saw your cock.
A&Es are like full to the brim because of me tonight, I'm telling you. Spinning jaws it's going out of fashion.
Aren't you like the same height as Jay?
Mate, don't start with the heightest bollocks, mate. I've got no issues with my height, son.
It's only Luke that has issues with people's height. You don't realise you have to be twice as hard if you're short.
Don't bring Luke into this. Luke's a beautiful man. Look at that tash.
Jay and Steve bang their heads on skirting boards.
That selfie I tagged you in the other day, Luke, you loved it, mate. Every minute of it, mate.
It's great. Anyway, let's get on to more important things. Obviously, you've come up. You're staying in an area of Leeds that's we're not allowed to tell people just in case you get we start letting all fire alarms off in the middle at night and all that sort of stuff. You've come up. You've got your biggest game of the season tomorrow night. So, in a few words, how do you honestly see it going? And where do you think you're going to lose it?
Hey, listen, let's just put all the jokes aside. Yeah. It's all banter. It honestly is all banter. I've got no problem with Leeds. Everyone thinks I can't stand him. And there's a few intelligent people on Twitter, Luke being one of them.
Jesus Christ, how much have you paid?
And I think Smarty gets me as well. And, there's a few other people that get me. I'm just here to get bites. It doesn't matter what the fan base is. The football you play...
I can't believe how successful you are, mate. You take bags of them home every night, to be fair. I'm quite impressed by it all. So much shit I see on there. I go, what are you fucking reacting for that for, you melon? But,
listen,
what can you do?
There are some fuckwits on that fucking platform, let's be honest. Like, I can put something about the weather. I can put something about fucking a building and throw a lead bit in there and bang. It's like being in the Amazon. There's piranhas everywhere.
Piranhas, that's it. Shooting fish in the barrel, pal.
The football you play is great. I think, I'll be honest with you, if I was genuinely a Leeds fan, the only concern I would have is the medical department and the training, because it just seems really weird. You get a player come back, he has a stonking game, and the next game he's out again. So something for me, if I was that way, I'd be thinking something's falling down in that respect. So I'd be very frustrated, put it that way, if I was a Leeds fan, because Llorente comes back, plays a couple of games, and then he's out again. Phillips comes in, then he's out, and it's a constant conveyor belt. For me, that's a concern.
Yeah, definitely.
No, it's not my priority. I don't. Like, with the greatest respect, I don't really care, but
no, that's it.
That would piss me off if I was genuinely a fan of the club.
You're spot on, Stephen, because we also rely on such a thin squad.
That's the issue.
Yeah, because we rely on such
continuity, it's screwed by it.
We live off such a thin squad that it is an issue when we have one or two players out. Certainly, if they're playing the same positions as well. Luckily, we're still somehow just outside the what we're 17th. I think we're 2 or 3 points clear of whoever.
3 points clear.
Yeah, 3 points clear.
We'd possibly be in the relegation zone if that game had been called off yesterday.
I think
that's the way. That's the positive thinking I like, Jay. Nice one.
I thought you were positive, Jay.
I think
not anymore.
Season,
I'm doomsday,
really,
Jay. Brighton broke me.
Last season, lads, really shrouded opinions, because you had a fantastic season. That can't be denied. Finishing 9th, first season back. It's a fantastic, result at the end of the day. But I think a combination of Bielsa, his loyalty, his over-trusting of the players and the owner, and going out and buying for the sake of it. I'm sorry, Daniel James was a for sake of it purchase. Didn't need him. You needed a central midfielder. And I know Leeds fans are very, very loyal, but Adam Forshaw is not the answer. I'm telling you that now.
Whoa.
It helps to have him in the squad. He ain't the answer, in my opinion. You need someone who can play that killer pass to play players like Rodrigo in, players like Bamford when he's back from injury. And finishing is the key aspect. And if you can't finish the goals and the chances that you create, you're just going to get dragged into something you don't want to be involved in.
Do you know what, mate? I absolutely 100% agree with you.
On that note, I'm going to show
a lot of people. I rate. What's he saying? Might not like it after Rad's comments, but one positive is Forshaw. Yeah, we have, the Forshaw thing. I think he's a fantastic footballer, but as coverage for Phillips. I think with them both playing, it kind of has a negative effect on how Phillips is playing. And when Ayling comes back, hopefully very soon, Dallas is without a position. Now, I would have Dallas playing over Forshaw any day of the week, because he grabs games by the scruff of the neck and he's good at going forward, and he can set up games and goals, and he can, get forward into good positions. We're missing a player like Pablo Hernandez. That's who we need. We need someone like Pablo Hernandez who can pull strings at the front and dictate play going forward. Not with Forshaw and Phillips in our team, it's too negative. So I completely agree, Steve. I think you're right.
So, Steve,
just doesn't give you that ability, when you get the ball, to try and create an opportunity. Because if you don't create opportunities, how do you win games? It's just not. Exactly. It's not feasible. It's just you end up with,
as wingers are crossing to no one. So
well, that's the thing.
Do you think though with Bamford,
don't get me wrong,
he'll bring the wingers in more?
Yeah, I think we do miss
his
him as a
hold-up.
pressing forward.
I think
he works a
your
lot harder.
fail.
Steve's on a bit of delay, lads.
I think your failure to buy Sorry, I think the failure to buy a central midfielder and another striker of quality, and don't get me wrong, that's a really difficult task because there ain't people out there that are immediately going to set the world alight. I mean, we bought Edouard for 15 million. He scored 3 goals. He's created lots of opportunities. He's been unlucky with a lot of his shots, but that was 15 million. You spent 25 million on Daniel James, and that was just a waste of money, in my opinion, when there was 2 positions that were crying out to be replaced or bolstered, if you like.
Yeah,
I think we might have overpaid a bit, but I wouldn't say it's a waste of money, as in, like, we don't need him. I think he's been all right last couple of games.
Well, look at it this way.
We're having a fight with someone, Steve.
We had him as an option.
Nah, not.
Or we had.
I'm literally walking along the dockyards.
Don't fall.
Don't fucking know. Leeds are that bad, mate. Don't throw yourself in.
Mate, I've got no idea where I am. Put it this way, but it's fucking cold.
Steve, then we won't keep you too long if you're walking around Leeds. But tell us how are you going to line up tomorrow? Do you think? And who's going to be the biggest threat? And who do we need to watch?
I think there's going to be some big changes from the game at the weekend. It was probably hands down our poorest game of the season. I think there's too much aspects of trying to be kind to players from Vieira, and Luca, he's absolutely shite. Can't play a 5-yard pass, and I think he'll be dropped. And you can't have Luca and Chiarte playing together in the same side. And again, it's the same scenario as you guys. You have those 2 players in the side. There's no creativity. There's no one that can play a pass, and we definitely missed MacArthur at the weekend, hands down. So I think we need to bring in someone like Schlupp or give Will Hughes a chance at last. I think pulling off. Yeah, hang on a sec. I think pulling off Wilf was probably, look, mate, you need to buck your ideas up kind of thing, because he was totally disinterested. I think it's going to be the same side as we had at the weekend, minus Luca, with maybe Schlupp or Will Hughes in front. And I think there's a possibility Benteke might get dropped for Edouard.
Do you really? He's been playing well, hasn't he?
He's been playing
He has, but he had a bad one on Saturday. He had a really bad one. He didn't really do a lot. His work rate was poor. I mean, no one really was defendable. Is it crap? Is it? There was nothing coming from any of the team, to be fair, that you could defend. It was just a poor display all around. Yeah, we got a goal at the end, but that flattered us big time. So if we play like that, then we're in trouble against you guys, because you will put us under pressure. But I'm just comfortable with the fact at the moment, with the greatest respect, even if you put us under pressure, I don't see you scoring. I think you're really struggling. You've got no backup to Bamford. Yeah,
just before you do go though, Steve, I just want to give you a few stats ahead of tomorrow from our resident stat man, Andrew Stats Dolan. I forgot his fucking name then. I call him Stats. So from a Leeds perspective, Stuart Dallas will join level with Gordon Strachan tomorrow night on 245 appearances for the club. We've won the last 6 at home to Palace, looking to make it 7 in a row tomorrow night. Our last home defeat to you guys was on March 21st in 2006 when we lost 1-0. Marcelo Bielsa will join level with Eddie Gray's first spell tomorrow night on 157 games in charge of Leeds from tomorrow.
It's first of 8.
Yeah, so you might as well take the win now. If we haven't won for we haven't beaten us for 6 games at home, then you might as well give it congratulations now. Well done on tomorrow's victory.
It's a weird one, because the last couple of seasons away we've been fantastic, but this season we've been fantastic at home. So it's just like, I don't know, the way the football we're playing is fantastic. We're playing it around, we're pressing, we're trying to win it back. And a lot of people had Vieira down as the first managers to go. And it's just a big fingers up to that. I think it's testament to the fact that he was at Man City. You know, a lot of our play is very similar to the way Man City plays. Yeah, we haven't got the similar qualities as what they've got. But ultimately, we're creating chances and we are scoring loads of goals. It's silly the amount of goals we're scoring, but I think our main weakness at the moment is set plays.
Yeah. I think that's
It's no war, is it?
Oh no, definitely no why, and I don't miss him. Don't miss him at all, mate. But the one concern that I've got with Leeds, if I was a Leeds fan as well, is the stubbornness from Bielsa. I mean, the injuries don't help him, granted, but you got to mix it up. If you don't mix it up, you just become too
Stagnant.
easy to analyse and play against.
Too predictable.
Yeah, that's the right word for it.
Yeah.
But from a selfish perspective, I'll take any win naturally. But listen, if you beat us, I'll take everything, every single one of you.
Oh yeah, you'll be in trouble. What you on Twitter? Just before you go, Steve, can you just give us a quick prediction and who you think might be the man of the match from tomorrow night's game?
I think Eze's going to be man of the match, and I think he's going to start. And that man is an unbelievable player. Given the fact that he wasn't due to come back until February, and we're in November and he's playing, I mean, what a machine! I think he's going to cause you a lot of problems. I think it's a 1-0 win either way. I think it's going to be tight. I don't think the weather's too fantastic, and it's quite cold, so that doesn't really help things. So I think it's going to be a tight 1-0 win either way.
It's grim up north, Steve.
Welcome to the north. Listen, Steve, cheers for joining us. What we'll do is we'll maybe try and get you on at some point after the game as well, so we can all give you some stick when we've fucking hammered you.
Yeah, it's not coming
mate, listen. I really appreciate you letting me come on, mate. And I know I'm a proper wind-up merchant, but it's all for fun. And I'll take all you can give me if the negative aspect happens. But trust me, if we beat you, oh my God, you lot all need to disappear because I'm going to rip
I can't wait.
the fuck out of you.
I can't wait. Bring it on.
Definitely
Take it easy, mate.
Have a nice evening, lads. Cheers. Bye.
Cheers, lad.
Bye. There we have it. Steve, who loves the word fantastic after a few beers in Leeds. What do you? I mean, he was pretty honest and pretty straight to the point. I don't think anything he said was too outlandish. I think it was quite a fair assessment.
I think he gave a good account of himself and his assessment of ours, of us, surely, like you say. Yeah, definitely. I think it was fair. What he said.
Yeah, I think if I was, I didn't know Eze was back already from injury, but if I was,
I didn't. I didn't either. Fuck.
If I was to pick one Palace player from their list of players, without injuries, he would have been probably my first pick if he wasn't injured. I didn't know he was actually due to be back. So that's not even Zaha. I'm not bothered about Zaha. Nah, he's a whining bastard. And but I think that Eze's got something about him, and they signed somebody else as well. Similar, was it Elise? Did they sign him?
Yeah, sure.
Or somebody similar anyway from the Championship, and he's a similar type player as well. But yeah, look, it's not going to be easy tomorrow night. They're in a bit of form. I was just trying to look at their recent form, and I got lost. Just started doing all sorts of weird shit on the internet, so I didn't bother. But they have had 3 wins, 7 draws, and 3 losses. Where we've had 2 wins, 6 draws, and 5 losses. So we're actually favourites tomorrow night, probably because home.
Really?
Home advantage, yeah. I'm not sure, and that might not be the bookies. I'm just going off Google. It just says Leeds favoured to win.
It's because these soft shandy drinking bastards look like proper cold weather up north, do they?
That's it. That's why I thought we stay and play in London. But look, they've got some dangerous players. Conor Gallagher as well. Benteke, that Edouard. Yeah, the 23s are now losing in the 90th minute. I didn't see the goal.
Fucking Cleeson. He's making some right clangers him lately. He's not fucking good at all, is he?
Who?
Bring Cleeson. However you pronounce it for us. Cleeson. I'm sure it's Cleeson.
I'm not
I thought
sure.
it was Klaas.
In all honesty, I thought it was.
It could be, it might be, but I don't know. Whatever. You know what I meant though. He's fucking dog shit, isn't he?
Yeah, Eze apparently got
And
half
keep
an hour
going
at the
disguise.
weekend. So I don't think he'll be
Yeah, I saw
starting, but he's obviously going to come on at some point. Probably have 45 minutes against us this through the week.
We should put Bamford on bench just to scare him.
Yeah, he's played tonight for the 23s, and I don't know how long he's got.
Yeah.
I haven't took note.
We need an update from Gilly. We need an update from Gilly how long he's played and how long Ayling have played.
But before we start sort of wrapping up, lads, shall we just go through how we? I mean, it's probably a lottery, but how do we line up tomorrow?
Oh Jesus! Don't even know who's injured and who's not.
Get a few builders in. Get a brick wall behind Medley. That's all.
God.
Take the fucking concrete out. Take the concrete out of Furpo's boots for a start.
I'm in two minds whether we'll see him tomorrow or not. I don't know.
Bamford won't be playing tomorrow, will he? If he's played 90 tonight.
No, he won't. No.
We might see him against Brentford.
Yeah, possibly.
Llorente's going to play, isn't he? Cooper's probably going to play. But then it's whether Stroik comes in again at left back or if he puts Dallas there. You know, there's too many variables at the moment because we were so bad in the last game. You just don't
Dallas
know
will be
what
right back.
It might be, but it might be
Shackleton will be.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Really?
Drama hasn't played tonight either. So, shall we go through and shall we pick a team between us that we all agree on that might start tomorrow?
That might take us about an hour.
Can we all agree on Meslier in goal? Yeah,
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up there then.
Are we doing like how we would set up, or how we think he's going to set up?
How we think it might set up. Yeah.
I want to do how I want to. That's the.
All right, let's do it how we want to.
You fucking maverick.
Current
What's up
players
with you?
available.
Bit of excitement for your
available.
dreary lives.
Oh yeah.
So we've got Nigel Martin in goal. Yeah.
Fucking hellfire.
Big Badooks up front.
Meslier, we're going Shackleton right back between us.
I think probably, unless he does go for Drammy, but I doubt he'll start him. So probably.
So that's no matter what you say, Smarty, we've got the majority vote there. Centre backs, we've got obviously Llorente. We all agree on.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say second centre back Cooper.
I think so.
Strike.
Too.
Fuck off.
Yes, Jay.
How would you play fucking Cooper of a strike if you had to pick a starting 11?
We're saying what we think he'll pick.
Based
No, we're saying on what we want, you pleb.
Smarty, will you just be quiet?
I'm very confused here.
Left back, we're going to go with Dallas.
Yeah. Smart stop taking part now. Just give up.
By the way, Lionel Messi just won the Ballon d'Or.
What a fucking fix.
Record, 7th time.
No English
Didn't deserve
players
it.
in the top 10.
Didn't deserve it.
No,
But there you go.
And then where we're going into midfield, we've got obviously Phillips, Forshaw.
Yeah, I think they'll both play. And I think it'll probably be Raff and Harrison on the wings.
Yeah, they do tend to play one up front as well with Conor Gallagher, Zaha, and Elise. I think has been starting there behind him. So pretty similar to us in a way, but we sort of play not two holding midfielders, but an extra centre back and a holding midfielder. So yeah, we're going midfield, central midfielders. We're going to go with Forshaw and Phillips, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and then attacking central, Rodrigo.
Probably.
Left and right, we're looking at Harrison and Rafinha.
I think so, yeah.
And then up front, Dan James.
It could be that, or it could be Rodrigo up front and James behind him. It could be either or.
James on fucking bench.
Yeah, so I think that's how we're going to line up, aren't we? If we're real about it. Smart is still a Cooperating bastard, it seems. But,
No, I'm not a Cooperating bastard. I think he's playing well, but I just wouldn't start him. I'd have Strike. I'd have Strike and
where did your leadership come from then, Smarty?
I'd have Shackleton at right back. I'd have Strike and Cooper. There's no fucking leadership. The only one that's half a decent leader on that pitch he's missing, and that's Luke Ayling. Cooper doesn't just say fuck all. Llorente's more of a leader. Anyway, don't get me started. Don't like that taper.
You've got him going now, mate.
And another thing. Phillips in his normal position, Forshaw on bench, Rodrigo in middle with Dallas, Harrison, Rafinha on wings, and I'd have Gellert starting up front.
Do you think the Phillips at centre back coming forward thing will be out the window?
No, not centre back, in his normal position. None of this fucking centre back, let's play 5 at back bullshit.
No, I'm
Put him
saying,
in his normal position.
do you think Bielsa will have took him out of that role and put him back to his normal role?
Probably not. Who knows what he's. I think I don't know what he's putting in his fucking herbal teas at home, but clearly it's something because it's not.
Probably the
It's
same
not
stuff as
sane.
Casco.
It's just not sane. Yeah,
That
same
young lad
herbs.
that is his assistant's probably poisoning him or something.
Yeah. Right then, we might as well get into some
Auto no better predictions.
Hey!
Oh,
While we're
Christ.
here, we will just mention that we do have a competition that we're looking to start. It's a raffle, actually, not a competition. That we are going to start selling tickets for over the next few weeks leading up to Christmas. It is assigned.
All the money's going to Jay's boob job.
Yeah,
You don't need it, mate.
I know.
No, reduction.
Reduction.
No, half of it's hopefully going to be going to the food bank through Lust. We're just waiting to confirm how we go about that, and then the other half to the LUFC Foundation. Any money that we do raise, I think it's going to be a £5 a ticket job, and we're just going to sort of hopefully get the money picked out from somewhere. We will have some pictures of and bits and bobs soon moving forward. So, yeah, worth just noting that before we go to the predictions. But before we do, Jay, give me a scoreline for tomorrow. You positive little bastard.
2-1 Leeds. Whether I genuinely believe that or not is a different matter.
Nah, you don't have to, Smarty. What you got? Come on, what you saying? Jimmy Neutron Head.
Oh, he's dying to back Palace.
I'm going 1-1 draw.
I'm gonna go 3-1 Leeds because I am a positive motherfucker.
That's right.
No, we're
Oozing
just
out
due.
of
Do you know what it is? For me, we are due a real good performance with goals to add to it as well.
I think, yeah, I'm going to change mine. I'm going to go 2-1 Leeds. I think you're right. I think if we show up, I think we'll pace these lot. However, on the flip side of the old coin, if we don't, we're going to get fucked.
And when you look at performances, Smarty, as well, we've been a lot better at home over the last few games than we have away from home.
We seem to bounce a little bit like we used to do as well. If you look at like Southampton game and then how we played against Wolves and stuff like that, you know, there's a bounceability factor here, and I think hopefully it'll come into play. Yes, it's another smartism for you.
Yeah, so I'm going 3-1 as well. So if anyone wants to pass those on to
3-1, who else has gone 3-1?
Nobody.
Did Jay go 3-1?
No, I
thought you said I'm going 3-1 as well.
Yeah, with myself.
Oh, sad.
But
That's nice.
We'll go with that. Anything else anybody needs to or wants to mention before we Foxtrot Oscar? There's going to be a.
Did you tell them what the prize was?
The prize is a signed.
No, he didn't.
Sure.
No, he didn't, did he?
No, he didn't.
We're not very good at this, are we?
Which we're hoping to
I
have
did.
framed.
You didn't.
Oh yeah, it's going to be framed as well. I forgot
It's going
about
to be
that.
really nice. There is one thing I'm going to add before we go.
Get a free coat hanger with it.
We've been linked today with Arthur Cabral. Did you see that?
I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen
Yeah,
that.
and
I'm sure it's something we'll
apparently,
pick up on Wednesday.
Something was said about us being interested in back in October, and that's now come back. So there might be something in that. I was just reminded of it when Steve said something about us having no backup for Bamford.
No disrespect, Jay, but I'm interested in Megan Fox.
All right, mate. Fair enough.
And I'm sure I could get that in a paper.
Okay.
We need a fans prediction. If anybody's listening, I think everyone's fucked off now, to be honest with you, Gilly. But if anybody is listening, tweet or send us a.
We're not using Steve's prediction, no.
Use Steve's prediction. He said 1-0 either way, so we'll go with 1-0 Leeds.
Palace.
4-0. We've got Nelly.
Go on, Nelly.
Baby, I love you, Nelly.
Retired. I'm so sorry for everyone that's listening to this.
Yeah, and then we've got a Berardi and Coke tomorrow evening, and that's with Fat Man Scoop, Jay and myself. Plot and plan,
Hang on.
Brooklyn Clan.
Am I on
Charles-
Twitter as well?
Charles Bronson and the son of Gimli. What a treat for
What
the
a
eyes and ears that is.
combination. Be a great show.
Yeah, Charles Bronson and Ragnar Lothbrok if he was a wobblehead.
Okay then. Fuck me, I wish they would lock you up like Charles Bronson. I'd have an easier life.
Oh dear. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, have a lovely, wonderful Monday night.
Toodle.